New technologies, new lifestyles, along with new possibilities and dangers, call for new parenting strategies for raising the next generation. But even with the internet flooding the earnest seeker with information, a chat with parents who have been there yet continue to break new ground may still give the best insights because of human touch. So get it here, only on Dynamic Living, the Total You with Positive Parenting.
The show that brings you information and inspiration into your very homes. Dear viewers, we are very much happy to present to you our episode on positive parenting. And of course, I am joined here in the studio by beautiful mommies to be able to share their experiences and their expertise in their parenting styles. I'd like to welcome, first of all, we have here Miss Irene Gabin. She's the family educator, affiliate of the City Advisory Council of the Department of Social Welfare Division. Magandang araw po sa inyo, Miss I.
Hello, good morning. I'm happy that I'm a part of the Dynamic Living.
Yes, of course. And of course, we have our first mommy here, Miss Mary Jane Sabat. She's the Associate Director for Education of the Seventh-day Adventist here in Northern Mindanao, North Philippine Union Conference. Magandang araw din po sa inyo.
Magandang araw din daw.
Okay. And another mommy here, we have Miss Myla Asuncion Limcauco Pampolina. Miss Miles, for short, you're an accountant from the Manulife Philippines. Magandang araw sa iyo.
Good morning, Miss.
Okay. Now, heto ngayon, napakaganda ng ating topic, no? Heto kayo kasi mga mommies kayo Unahin ko muna si Miss I, being the one who is really, forte ninyo talaga ito Masasabi niyo po ba, Miss I, na ang parenting is a serious business that should be taken really, really seriously?
Oh yes, Doc, talagang ang parenting, although hindi naman to pinag-aralan talaga ng mga parents in the first place, but this is a serious business in the family that should be taken care ng parents. If yung available mayroong mommy or daddy, or if she or he is a single parent.
Okay. Now, do you think that the Filipino couples today are really ready to become parents?
Well, we have a lot of research that reveals that not all parents, Filipino parents, are ready for this matter. In fact, yung challenges na bumabangon ngayon sa mga families ay bunga ng poor parenting style.
Kumbaga sinunod lang, nasundan, kumbaga, isa yan. Pero kasi, Miss Jane and Miss Miles, mapapansin din kasi natin, okay, unahin ko muna. Miss Jane, how old were you when you got married?
Oh, I'm married by age 20.
Yeah, and you, Miss Miles?
24.
24. Ikaw, Miss I?
23.
You should ask me. I got married at the age of 28. Now, the reason why I asked you, kasi it's because primarily, isa sa mga root causes na sinasabi natin, immaturity, or being unable to, be able to prepare one to become a parent is yung masyadong maagang pag-aasawa. Di po ba?
Yeah, tama po yun. Yung age, bagaman, hindi natin siniset talaga na generalize na lahat na nag-asawa ng bata pa ay hindi sila mabuting parents, but age also matters. Siyempre, yung age, may sinasabi tayo, pag ang babae ay 18 years old, sinasabi nila na she's already pwede na siyang lumagay sa isang matahimik kasi
di ba palagi sinasabi na pag nag-asawa ka, matahimik na kalagayan.
Yeah, kasi sinasabi nila sa family code pwede na, but we need to consider if this parent to be is ready na emotionally, physically, spiritually, socially, and
Financially,
financially.
kailangan kasama doon.
So, kasama yun talaga.
So, matanong kita, Miss Miles, parang nag-react ka, no? Sinabi na 18 years old, yes.
No. I got married at 24, but I became a parent. I was almost 29. So in a way, got married a little early, but because you're waiting and wanting for it really badly. So I think when I was 29, I was quite ready, and I'm more selfless. Because when you're a parent, you really need to be selfless. I think that's the first struggle of being a new parent is like how will you be able to give up the time for yourselves that you've given yourselves now to your kids. I remember when I gave birth, and my firstborn was already crying in the hospital. I was with my husband and my mom, and my husband and I, we were not getting up, because we're not used to it. So it's my mom who got up and picked up the kid. So, those little things that you really have to give up, when you have a child.
Pero it's not only about time, being selfless, ha? Remember na pagka-parent ka, di ba? Imbis na mag-shopping ka for yourself, di ba? Kaya nga, di ba, kami kasabihan doon na pagka may pamilya ka na, isipin mo, wala na para sa sarili mo, kundi para na sa pamilya. Yes, Jane?
Yeah. So
you got married at 20.
Yes, yes. It's really getting into a conflict when you get married, yes. Because coming from various families, hindi naman kayo talaga pinalaki ng sabay, at yung culture of your family, it really makes a difference to rear your own family, lalo na kung ang iyong mga in-laws is also different din, so that is also a challenge. But at a young age, I learned from my parents how they brought me up. Although it's a disciplinary, very strict one, but I think I learned from it positively in a way that I should not practice those that would affect the growth of my children emotionally and physically na in-apply sa akin ng parents ko, kasi I really got punished for doing things that my parents do not approve. Yeah.
So, ang ganda nung kanyang experience, no? Kasi yung kanyang experience, very strict yung kanyang parenting style ng parents niya. Pero hindi niya in-apply when she became a parent, di ba, Miss Jane?
Not totally. Not totally, because I cannot
totally
really get away from it, because unconsciously,
you are the product of your
But-
parents.
But as you go along, being a mom and hearing from people who are experts on parenting, you learn from it. It's a matter of opening your mind, being teachable, because you don't know everything.
Yes.
So in a way, how the parenting style of our parents can affect us positively or
yes.
negatively.
Or negatively,
Tama po yung sinabi niya, kasi yung first na puhunan talaga natin sa pagiging parent natin is paano tayo pinalaki din. So isang bagay yon, and then we adjust some things, or kung may mga issues tayo with our parents na it affects us negatively. So when we become parents na, hindi na natin gagawin yan, just like our experience.
Yes. What about you, Miles?
Well, my parents were free thinkers. They let us be. They're not disciplinarians. They just have certain rules that we have to follow. But they're not the disciplinarian type. Although my grandparents were also helping us, raised us, they are the disciplinarians. So in a way, I got to imbibe that. But in the family, I'm the disciplinarian. I have stringent rules that my kids supposed to follow. But like positive, because I've heard of positive parenting when I transferred my eldest to a school who promotes that. And for somebody who came from a very, with the grandparents rearing us, at first I can't accept it that, all positive, bawal pagalitan. Di ba? It's you're so used to when
right.
and in the Bible they say, you spare the rod
And spoil the child.
and spoil the child. So where do you go, where do you...
So anong balanse, di ba?
Well, you just kind of listen to that new approach of positive parenting, and you try to accept it. But of course, for you who was reared like that, you just can't
Just get
You just get it, you know, and you're afraid you might,
Pero
you
ako,
might
may
spoil
tanong
your
ako sa inyong
kids.
tatlo Is there such a thing as a measure for successful parenting? Or is there a textbook that will really help us when we become parents or we are planning to become parents that will tell us, if you're going to follow these rules, this is the way, then you will become successful as a parent. Is there such a thing, Miss I?
Yeah, for Christians. Okay, for Christians. Our textbook is the Bible. We believe that we have some instructions from the Bible, and we have also some Christian books, educational books that can help us also. Actually, one of the factors na matulungan ang mga parents is to receive some instructions from teachers. And teachers do not necessarily be human beings. This can be textbooks, this can be some instructions, this can be some resource
In other words,
materials.
the openness of the mind to be able to, accept. Kasi human nature dictates, di ba? Na tama naman yung ginagawa ko. Ganito ako pinalaki ng mga magulang ko.
Yeah.
So what difference will it make? Di ba, Miss Jane?
It's true, no? So ating sa pag-handle ng ating mga anak, it's not only that we read, we hear from people, we hear from media and everything, but it differs now when you apply to your own children, because they are different from the books that you read.
Yes,
Yes, Miss I.
Yeah, tama yun. Because not all theory, not all beautiful theories are applicable to all families. That's why we have the saying, experience is the best teacher.
Yes.
And we also learn from other parents.
Yes. So, Miss
Yeah.
Miles, how many kids do you have?
I have 3.
Ages?
One, 18, 16, and 13.
Babae lahat to?
The eldest is a girl, and I have 2 boys.
All right.
Yes.
So, ikaw naman, Miss Jane,
2 boys and 1 girl.
how old are these?
20, 18, and 9.
Wow, malayo-layo ang Sa iyo, Miss I.
I have 2, a boy and a girl.
How old
I
then?
already have a young professional.
All right.
So-
Kaya ako tinatanong sa inyo yon. It's because, is there a difference by which you handle a teenager or an adolescent from an adult, o kaya naman babae at sa lalaki na anak? Do you see through your years of parenting a difference, so that with the differences that you get to see, applicable ba itong method na to sa pag-handle ko sa kanya, o kailangan kong baguhin ito? Let's start with Miss Jane.
Yeah, every day is a learning experience for parents. So rearing my youngsters during their childhood, it's easier for me. I'm a disciplinarian also, coming from a family of disciplinarian, although I adjust from time to time. Pero I saw myself by then na it's not really effective that I go through it, no, dun sa pagiging disciplinarian hanggang sa lumaki sila. I have to adjust, and I have to treat them differently as they grow up. In different stages of their lives, I have different strategies to really guide my children and teach them. Dun sa bata sila, it's easier. You just say, you don't do this. Why? Because this is this. But when they grow up, you have to do it with compassion. Like, what do you think is better to apply in this kind of situation, anak? No, it's more on consultative. You have to listen to them. They might have reasons that you don't know or you don't understand at times. No? So, I also learn from them.
Okay, what about you, Miss Miles? Yes, kung gusto mo mag-react muna doon, Miss I.
Kasi there is one principle that we can apply to all our children, and that's the principle of support, love, and firmness. But there is difference, kagaya na sinabi ni Miss Jane, na merong difference sa approaches, because all our children have their own needs, specific needs. So, yung panganay ko, iba yung need niya, ang bunso, iba ang need niya, yung middle child, iba rin ang need. So, but I can apply love, support, and firmness to everyone, but the application and the approach is different according to their needs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ikaw naman, Miss Miles.
The culture in the family is, my husband and I we're involved parents in everything they do. We make sure that they feel that they really belong to the family. So time is very important to us. We really give a lot of time with the kids. We believe that if you have invest as they say, the best thing spent to your kids is time. So I think if they were raised that way, and they feel they belong, they are loved, before they do something wrong, they would think twice, because they would value the camaraderie that you have in the family, and they would not just do anything that would hurt you or will not make you proud of them. So they're very conscious of that. So that's the parenting style that we give to the kids. And I agree that you give different degrees. Like, girls are easy to talk with. You know, like you set the rules and they just follow. You're just like your friends that they will follow. But for the boys, they're waiting for you to change your rules. You know, you've set this, and then they will challenge you, and then hoping that you will bend a little. You know, they're harder to talk to, but it's tender moments. It's easier to give for me to the boys. We can have heart-to-heart talks, and the approach is different. Like my youngest is not stubborn, but his name is Will, so his name speaks for him. Very willful. Like, he would challenge all the rules that we have set, like that the first two will just follow, but this boy, he's a debater. He sometimes I think he's just debating for the sake of debating. So he would really challenge, and I have to be more creative to him, not to the point, not really bribing him, but you have to satisfy his curiosity on the rules that you've set. And I think the positive
that's
parenting.
Very important in positive parenting, if the parent is aware of what is going on in the family, because if we are talking also of positive parenting, there's the positive environment. Positive environment should be provided to our children, and positive environment begins in us, as parents.
Kailangan sa
atin.
Kasi yun nga sinasabi, how much love can you give if you are lacking in it also, diba? How much attention can you give if you yourself lack it, diba? Para bang, what can you give if you don't have it?
But you could learn.
You could learn.
It doesn't mean you didn't receive it, you won't be able to give it. You just have to be aware.
Importante doon is you are capable of learning. The attitude should be, as a parent, you're willing to go to all lengths na, in any ways na you can provide the positive parenting to your children. Diba? Miss Jane, yung sinabi mo kanina, sa inyo bang mag-asawa? Kasi I believe na husband and wife kayong tatlo. So you are a family in a sense that you have your husband, you have the fathers of your children. Sino ang disciplinarian sa family? Ikaw or your husband?
My husband is not that talkative as mine, and also maybe because of his upbringing, not the one I have, I am more to, they have to be this, they have to be this. So I do the corrections most of the time. I do the talking with my children most of the time. But I also talk with my husband. I have to tell him, they must see that you have the strongest decision in the family. Because my husband is a man of few words, so when he says this, that's final.
Yes, and that's a healthy relationship. That's a healthy relationship. Kasi talagang sa couple, meron talagang isa na mas aware, mas nakikita yung need ng family, and it's important that just like what you are doing, you communicate that to your husband rather than keep it
to yourself.
lang.
O kaya solo lang siyang magdidisiplina. Tapos tatakbo kay tatay, di ba? So mabibend yung rules.
Otherwise, magkakaroon ng double standard yung sinasabi natin na merong dalawa. But if the couple communicates, sila yung nag-uusap sila, mahalaga yun eh. And I believe kahit na man of few words yung asawa niya, but he is willing to listen.
And to back up the wife.
Very important.
Kasi if I may add, isa din kasi yun sa conflict ng family at saka ng parenting. Yung may isa sa magka-partner, kasi team yan may isa na yung ka-partner mo, hindi siya willing na magpatupad ng ganun na that is a rule in the family. But nandun lagi talaga yung yung communication, yung love, yung caring, yung nurture, nandoon para maging positive talaga.
Yes, Miss Miles.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, I was keep on saying, I'm the disciplinarian in the family.
You also?
No, but on the last recourse, I forget. I call on to my husband. Like, they're not following, you know. So, you know.
So ano yun? Call for help.
Call for help. Call a friend. Because
Lifeline.
sometimes they're so at home with you that, you know, they're just they want to talk you out of it. And I tell my kids, how come when I'm the one implementing the rules, you're challenging it, but when it's dad, you just follow. Like waking up in the morning, wake up na. But when they hear the footsteps of the dad, you know, they would get up and hit the bathroom. So it's
because we are more patient.
Yeah, so I just make it positively that we're more approaching, you know. But you can really, well, I'm very lucky that really my husband he's really involved. Like he's a soccer dad. I'm spare of that duty already, and he's the voice coach of my other son, and I'm just there to support. He's primarily very involved. And in fact, come to think of it, when I was about to marry him, I said, I want this guy to be the father of my kids. It's a primary factor. I really saw it in him.
Which actually, dapat yan
Sana ganyan lahat ng mga
It's not that I'm not totally in love with him, but I really saw that selflessness, that caring, that I would not spare, you know, my kids to have this kind of a dad. So I don't know. I mean, that was really a factor for me. I really had to make sure that I would be giving my kids the best dad I could, you know, I could provide to them.
Which is actually dapat yun din ang iniisip ng mga kabataan before they get into a serious relationship, di ba? Pero come to think of it, heto you as a parent, no? So you have the fathers of your children, you know, to help you out. What about yung support system like mga lolas, mga lolos? Doesn't it make more difficult? Does it make it more difficult or easier for you to become a positive parent?
Yeah, actually, in positive parenting, the in-laws, the extended family should not be a threat to the couple. Kasi in positive parenting, nakatingin yung parents doon sa anong maitutulong ng aking parents o ng mga aunties, ganon. But it's important that we have the final say. We have the final say to our children. Kung magreklamo yung mga anak natin, ang higpit-higpit naman ni lola, ni lolo. So, wag yung mga parents intend na sabihin na, oo nga, ang higpit-higpit talaga ng lolo. So, it's not positive. So, magiging threat sa kanila yung lolo and lola. But if we stabilize and, you know, become yung tayo magbabalanse, nasabihin natin, your lola is only concerned, anak, ganon. So, that becomes positive sa kanila.
Pero kasi remember extended families ang Filipino culture di ba? Minsan pa nga nakatira pa yan sa bahay ng mga lola at lolo, the entire family, the entire clan. So, is it more difficult to bring up children the way we would want them to, you know, the way we would want to implement our parenting style?
For me, it's
or lucky lang kayo kasi, you know, humiwalay kayo sa family ninyo, you really stood by your own na kayo lang talaga.
Well, it's really hard if you're in the same house, but for me, it's a welcome support. Like sometimes as parents, you need a break. You really need a break, and it will be good if you have your other relatives to take care of the kids, to help out and infuse some other interest to the kids. You know, other form of companionship that the kids would be exposed to, so they become more tolerant. You know, for me, it's a welcome treat for me if I could have my other relatives be involved. But of course, if they be in conflict with the way we're bringing the kids, then that would be a problem. But most of the time,
hindi naman.
What
about you, Miss Jane?
And parents also do understand their limitations. Gaya sa akin, ang aking mga parents, they don't intervene when it comes to disciplining my children. Only that there are instances when they call your attention, anak, I think this is better to do with your children instead of what you have done. but they don't disapprove you in front of the children.
Wait, that's one thing, Miss Jane, ha? Yung bang calling your attention for something na ang feeling ng family member mo ay mali yung ginagawa mo in front of your child. How do you handle that in a positive way?
Well, bago ko sagutin yun, yung kasama natin, yung ating in-laws or yung ibang members ng family, to me, it's a blessing. At the same time, it's a challenge. Now, correcting a child or calling the attention of the parent in front of the child, I think that's a big no-no. It's a red flag in positive parenting, because that will have a negative effect to the, most likely negative effect. The tendency is to have a negative effect to both.
At saka hindi. Parang you're sending the wrong signal to the child.
Yeah.
Na, okay, pwede pala ako dito. No, I can play both, di ba?
And in a way, that also initiates loyalty to one.
Over the other.
And disrespect.
And disrespect also, di ba?
Yeah.
Ito bang ating role as parents is a lifelong commitment?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Pero ang tanong ko, I know that the answer is yes for all of us. But the thing there is, yung lifelong commitment na yan, kailangan ba talaga, what's the difference na kailangan ding we allow them to fly their wings at a certain stage? Yun yung ibig ko sabihin. Alam ko, lifelong commitment na hanggang sa magiging lola tayo, alam mo, hanggang sa mga apo sa tuhod natin, that's our commitment to be with them. Pero yung commitment na yan, is there such a thing as a boundary or a limit?
Yes, Doc. Sinasabi natin, kahit naman mga research, sinasabi nila, mga books, na kapag bata pa yung, merong age of control, age of regulation, but as they grow up, less and less ang control ng parents. Kasi nagkakaroon din ng conflict Minsan professional na, adult na, may asawa na, andun pa rin yung controlling attitude at behavior ng parents. So it's not positive.
At saka hindi. We also learn we should be able to teach them independence. Di ba?
Yeah.
At saka yung parang matuto din silang tumayo sa sariling paa nila. Kasi kung hindi, when we're always there, yun yung mistakes minsan ng isang mga magulang, di ba? Hindi siya nagiging positive kasi nasobrahan tayo ka mami na you forgot na meron pala silang mga needs na later na sila dapat yun ang mag-fend for themselves.
Yes. There is certain degree of decision making that we allow them to practice as they grow up. Even at the age of 3 or 4, there are decisions that they can make with your guidance. So I think parents should realize that not all the time that you can do all the decisions of the life of your child. You have to understand it is not your life, it's the life of your child.
That's correct. Actually, practical example, the use of Uber and Grab. That's a struggle, but there will come a time, there's no driver, you're not available, you have a meeting, you have no choice, but you just pray that nothing happens to them. But it's a struggle. Although you could monitor them, but it's in a way, it's a step to independence. But it's scary.
Yeah. With these days, yes.
But they need to,
they need to
I'm not
learn.
even asking them to take the public transportation. It's a Grab. But I think little by little,
but
you
the
have
thing
to
there
let
is,
go.
being overprotective can also be harmful.
Yes,
Miss Ai.
yes,
Oh, yes.
Diba?
Yun yung controlling, and then over naman na and kasi parang inaalisan natin, our children are deprived of their own growth and freedom also kasi yung mga anak natin, halimbawa lumalaki na rin, nakakatanggap na rin sila ng mga principles na maganda, and they want to to apply that in their lives. So when kung nandun lagi tayo, lagi natin kokontrolin sila, but very positive din yon, yung before halimbawa sila mag-Uber o kaya mag-Grab, may instruction, di ba? I believe, meron ang anak, ganito.
No, we order for
yes,
them. Like, we don't allow them to order by themselves. Slowly. We order. We make sure we know where the taxi is going. They're not yet allowed
kasi
to
tama lang yun,
themselves.
kasi hindi pa sila sanay eh.
So,
sanay lagi sila
stepwise dapat ang introduction to all these things. Which will continue when we return. We'll take a very short break. Napakaganda po namin talakayan dito. Please stay tuned to Hope Channel.
Addiction ng mga bata sa gadget, yun ang nagiging problema natin. Bigyan natin sila ng time, communication. Kahit kasi parents ngayon addict na rin sa mga gadgets.
Tamang pag-ugali, yung halimbawa, kailangan may respeto.
Sa ngayon, nakikita ko na sinabihan mo na paulit-ulit, pero naroon pa rin yung parang wala silang naririnig. Ewan ko nga ha, parang inuuna pa nila ang gadget. Parang yun na ang kanilang friend.
Mas napapasunod kami noon kaysa ngayon. Kasi parang hindi na rin iniintindi yung mga habilin para sa kabutihan nila.
Ang mga anak ngayon, wala silang pakialam kung ano ang nararamdaman ng isang magulang sa isang anak.
New technologies, new lifestyles, along with new possibilities and dangers, call for new parenting strategies for raising the next generation. But even with the internet flooding the earnest seeker with information, a chat with parents who have been there yet continue to break new ground may still give the best insights because of human touch. So get it here, only on Dynamic Living, the total you with positive parenting.
Welcome back to Dynamic Living, the Total You, with our episode here, Positive Parenting. So narinig po natin yung ating mga guests kung ano po ang kanilang mga thoughts about positive parenting. Heto naman syempre kanina sabi nga natin stepwise lang yung pag-release sa kanila. Pero masasabi niyo ba, Miss I, directed to you meron bang pagkakaiba yung parenting styles ng previous era at saka sa tayo ngayon?
May pagkakaiba at may pagkahalintulad.
So let's start with the difference and then with the similarities.
I will deal with two major na laging ito ang lumalabas. Yung tinatawag na authoritative parents or authoritative parenting style at saka authoritarian. Yung authoritative, merong communication, free to communicate to each other. Nandun yung love, nandun yung support, nandun yung care, nandun yung listening ears. Yun yung authoritative kasi nandun yung, ang kasunod yun kasi yung communication. But authoritarian is more controlling, more
dictatorial.
Yeah, dictatorial. And boss management. I am your parents. You listen to me. I'm your parents.
Tama yung sinasabi ko.
That is happening. It was happening before and even now. So, may pagkakaiba.
Alright.
At may pagkakahintulan.
Now, ang tanong ko what are, si Miss Jane here, what are the challenges kaya sa tingin mo for you today as a parent of this century? Diba? Kasi millennials na to We're talking about our children na nandito sila ngayon sa era na grabe yung internet, grabe yung mga, yung maraming mga ways by which they entertain themselves. Unlike nung araw, patintero, tumbalata, yun yung laro nung araw Parang you use your mind at the same time, you're able to play it out Ngayon, iba na ang laro ng mga kabataan. So sa'yo, what are the challenges that you encounter based on these changes?
One is really communication. The fact that our children are really exposed to cell phones and that. So you rarely have enough time, fun time with your children, and sometimes they prefer to have their phones than to discuss things with you. Very limited yung time na ni-spend nyo para talaga to talk as close as you can as parents. And another thing is, syempre hindi pa rin mawala yung culture mo that or you want this to happen to your children when they have their own wants, no, to attain in their lives. So with that, you really have to have a listening ear as a mother, as a father to your children, and that would help, I think.
What about you, Miss Miles?
Struggles. The gadgets. I don't really mind that they're technically savvy, but in a way, it gets the quality time that you get from them. Like sometimes when I drive them to school, when they forget that they have gadgets, the conversation is very fluid, and I enjoy it. Like they would just talk anything under the sun. So I think they're beginning to have secrets now. I think that's you'll be surprised that they know more than what you think they know. So maybe that would be the struggle on how you could assure them that it's okay, you could tell
Talk
it to
me
me
anything,
and let's solve it together. So basically, my kids are pretty much okay. So I'm not yet at that stage, except that one would like to go out a lot more. And one doesn't want to go with family gatherings, but he can't get away with it with me. No, you have to go. You know, I don't know. Is that bad? Like, because a lot of parents are saying that, oh, they don't go with us anymore.
Which actually, merong age sila na ganyan sila.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah, my take on that, because you let them. Am I being authoritarian? I'm very conscious of that. Like, Mom, I don't want to go. I just want to stay at home.
Okay.
No.
Let me tell something about the time element. Sometimes kasi sasabihan natin yung mga bata, meron na silang previous appointment, meron na silang mga gagawin. So I think time is very important to prepare them. For example, next month will be the family reunion. Anak, don't accept any appointment next month because we will go to our reunion. Kasi karanasan ko yan. Pagka sinabihan ko sila ng yung bang time, very close, Mami, meron na po kaming ganito gathering ng barkada ko. So if I would not understand my child, I would say, oh, mas mahalaga pa yung barkada mo kaysa family natin. And that happens in some families.
And it will create problems.
Yeah, it will create problem. But because of parenting, a positive parenting, and maraming mga napapakinggan tayo, so I would really come to listen. Oh, anak, so hindi na ba pwedeng? So there is that negotiation part. Okay, anak, pwede pa bang i-move yung schedule mo for this family affair? Pag sinabi niyang, Mami, hindi na po talaga kasi nakabayad na po ako, may mga ganito na. Okay, so next time, anak, okay, go. And then pagka nag-permit ako na go, sasabihin, well, the more na may trust sa atin ng ating mga anak. So I think that's the time element, it's the factor.
Today, when you go to the restaurants, okay, you have family dinner, family lunch, mapapansin mo, mga lamesa, lahat busy with their gadgets.
Yes.
Halos hindi na nag-uusap as a family. I think there are, rules to that effect can be implemented, di ba?
Yeah.
Like ako, I implement that with my kids. Na if it's dinner time or family time, no cell phones.
Yes.
So kahit yung sa akin, nakatago yun. To set an example, di ba? Kasi kung tayo din busy tayo, what do we expect? How can we say, di ba, one thing pala, Miss we should mean what we say. And we say what we mean.
Walk the talk.
Kasi mahirap yung sasabihin mo and then hindi mo ginagawa. Diba? Lalo na sa mga kabataan ngayon.
And consistency.
Consistency. Kailangan consistent ka na heto. But then we've been talking about positive parenting for all of us. But what about those who are not blessed to have, a partner by their side to help out in the bringing up of their children?
Well, I think
it's going to be more of a challenge.
It's a challenge, but if the parenting of that single parent is intentional, magagawa pa rin niya yung gusto niyang mangyari para sa kanyang mga anak. Of course, there may be some limitations, but we have the mga parents natin na pwedeng gumabay din sa atin.
What are the factors that affect positive parenting or the quality of parenting that we can have? we already discussed about maturity di ba? So dapat mature ka na. Pero hetong if you have personal failed aspirations in life, like for example, di ba nangyayari ito? Isa ito sa contention sa mga families na, gusto kong maging doktor, hindi ko nagawa yon. So I will ask my child to become a doctor for me. I don't get to hear parents like that. Your take on that, Miss Jane? Or ikaw din ba, are you a victim of that na, kumbaga, meron akong gusto sa buhay ko na hindi ko nasunod at hindi ko narating. So now I expect my child to be able to pick up the pieces for me.
No. Kasi ako, I let my parents know this is what I want. Although they want something, they think better for me, but I let them realize this is what I want to do. I want to become a teacher. They want me to become a medical doctor. For me, it's not my line, sabi ko. So I have to prove myself that I really wanted to be a teacher and be a good teacher. And in my children, I also tell them, anak, if that's really what you want, you have to work for it. You have to do your best because I did not intervene with what you like. I just guide you with that. And I also trust that whatever plans you have to bring it to the Lord and pray for it.
Yes, Miss Miles.
I let them discover what they want to do, but at the same time, I guide them where I think they're good at. Because sometimes the kids doesn't know where to go. They're clueless on what they want. So maybe if you feel that your child is at that stage, then it will be your duty to at least guide them. At least let them know that there are courses like this, there are careers like this, and open up the opportunity for them.
Kasi alam mo, meron ako mga kaibigan na mga doctors, bigla yung anak pag tinatanong, anong gusto mo paglaki mo? At sasabihin sa kanila, maging fireman, maging policeman. Siyempre nagugulat na yung mga magulang na, bakit ganun yun? O kaya naman sabihin na, ay gusto ko daddy tagalinis lang, tagalinis mekaniko, di ba? O parang nagugulat ka. So I think widening up the opportunities and making them, exposed to all the other opportunities. Yes, Miss Ai.
Yeah, very true po yung sinabi nila, Doc. Kasi meron tayong principle na sinasabi na if you want to be an effective parent, you have to know yourself first. What are my issues? Will these issues affect the future of my children? So kung may issues ako sa bagay na ito at parang hindi ako makaget over doon, parang hindi maganda to sa akin, I have to resolve it muna. Kasi that will really transcend to how I'm going to deal with my children. So we know ourselves, and yung sinabi ni Miss Miles kanina na we also have to know also our children, not only knowing anong birthday nila or what, know their interests, know their habits, know their likes, know their preferences, so that we can adjust our guidance sa kanilang mga
Is there such a thing
interests.
as a bad parenting style?
Bad parenting.
Is there such a thing really as a bad parenting
Bad
style?
or unsuccessful?
Or unsuccessful parenting style?
Meron po.
Meron din.
Meron po.
Pero
that will show sa result ng
mga kabataan nila. Pero which classes would that be more commonly found? Kasi kayo, you're into this so you would have more data on. Sino ito? Would there be a difference between educated ba ang family or hindi? Mas may pera ba ang family or wala? Mas marami bang mga anak o mas konti? Which of these classes, or it can, it cuts across borders. Kumbaga, walang pinipili.
Well, based on our experience, because we go to the communities, different communities, so most of these are indigent families, mga poor families. So they have not undergone formal schooling, or they have not they maybe wala silang hindi sila nakapagbasa, but thanks to our government, because they have these family development sessions where they are given some seminars on positive parenting. And it makes a difference kung ang parents ay educated. Not only formal schooling, halimbawa nakapag-attend siya ng seminar, that's also a part of education. merong factor pag siya may natutunan kaysa dun sa wala.
So mahalaga talaga na mag-outreach sa kanila.
Yeah.
Ha? Kumbaga, dapat yun na nga parang community-based din dapat ito, di ba, Miss Miles?
At least share the new styles that we read about.
Hindi lang dapat tayo lang yung nakakalam, kundi bawat pamilya.
Yeah, oo. Like sometimes, I feel sorry when it's just that they don't know. They don't know. They were raised that way. Or for all you know, nobody raised them.
Yes.
Yeah, possible.
That's why
They live in the streets.
Yeah, that's why they're like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, how I wish the government would have like really a comprehensive nationwide program. You know, if you see street children, we get them and house them and give them a family, although it's in an institution way. But at least teach these kids on later on how to become good parents. Because if you just let them, if we turn a blind eye on those people on the streets, they're helpless. So maybe the government could really
talaga sila.
Get them and house them and teach them.
Kasi they become the future parents.
Yes,
and the future parents will produce the future of our country.
Otherwise, domino effect yan Pagka positive parenting, positive din yung magiging most likely.
Ito tinatawag nating nature versus nurture.
Yes. Nature, ang mga bata talaga may kanilang nature. Nature niya na aggressive siya, nature na ganun. But the nurture part of parenting makes a difference, a big difference. Kasi talaga lahat ng mga bata merong merong hindi magandang nature.
Yung tinatawag nating mga weaknesses.
Selfish. Karamihan ng mga bata selfish. But because of our guidance, pag sinabi kasing nurture talaga is the way how we really deal with them. Parang yung halaman, paano mo siya inaalagaan, giving all the, isang factor kasi sa mga bata kung bakit hindi rin sila nagiging successful at saka nagiging aggressive sila o kaya meron silang mga misbehavior is that yung mismong kanilang basic needs hindi nila natatanggap How much more yung emotional needs. Yung physical, yung basic needs nga nila, hindi nila natatanggap yung pang emotional needs nila, they are on the streets, tapos naglalanghap sila ng mga, mga solvent, kung ganyan. Tapos, minsan madali tayo mag-judge na, nasan ba mga magulang ng mga ito? So, yung sinabi ni Miss Miles na we really need to reach out to these children.
Which is actually one of the challenges na we have today. Pero another challenge that I believe for positive parenting is when you're a working parent, how does it affect you, Miss Jane?
Oh, you really have to find time with your children. Work is a second thing for you. Your family should be the first. Your children, of course, should be you should be given more of your time. Kaya kahit pagod ka na, you cannot complain because it's the instinct of a mom. Oh, I really have to give this time for my child. Or else you might lose even your child. No?
Kasi di ba, there's a difference between a stay-at-home mom and a mom who works. Diba? So how are we going to balance that na even if I'm a stay-at-home mom, I may still fail in the rearing up of my children. Pero even if I'm a working mom, I can be successful as a parent with a positive parenting skill.
Yes, you just try to get all the help that you can. Take advantage of technology. Like the kids, if they want to be, or if you want to communicate through through email on following up on their assignments. You just have to take advantage of that. You really can't do everything, but I think the word there is intentional. You just have to make sure you give time for them. And I think even if you're working, you'll be able to, at least they see the discipline. They see the discipline.
One principle in positive parenting is presence. Okay, presence. There are many stay-at-home moms now that they fail in parenting because they are not present. Maybe physically they are there, but
Yeah.
They are in their gadgets. They are at home 24 hours, but they are not present emotionally or, you know.
And then we have to
Okay.
address also yung mga needs ng ating mga OFWs na mga
Yeah.
kababayan natin. Diba? Isa din yata ito sa kailangan. As a matter of fact, isang OFW natin ang nag-request for positive parenting episode. And
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
working in Abu Dhabi. So, isa siya sa mga nag-request na to feature in dynamic living, positive parenting. So, makikita natin yung desire talaga nila na kahit malalayo sila, they would really want, you know, to be able to bring up children that will, you know, become...
I think we also give the credit to technology. Without technology, they will not be able to communicate. Kasi ngayon may FaceTime.
Yes.
Kasi unlike nung araw na pag sinabing OFW, merong voice tape lang. Kasi
Yeah.
hindi mo pa makikita. But now, in fairness naman sa technology, you know, they can OFWs can make use of the social media in reaching out to their
to
children.
their children. And
Yeah.
when they're home, they should spend every hour of that with their children. May tanong ako, yung emotional state ng isang mommy, like si Miss Jane, ikaw Miss I, ikaw Miss Miles, does it have something to do with, okay, minsan kasi naririnig natin na at the height of your anger, or at the height of your displeasure of your child, napapalo mo siya. What is your take on this?
When I'm angry at my children's attitude, behavior, I try to keep myself quiet. I have to control my temper. I have to think of words that would not really hurt them in a way that they would feel I feel bad with what they did. I have to go into my room or talk to my husband regarding the issue before I talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to hold back.
Yeah.
Try to hold back. well, before when I was not more informed, you know, you just easily get mad at them, and you know, but now I try to hold back and try to tell myself there are no bad students. There are just bad teachers. So in a way, if something came out bad, it's because you did not do your part as a parent. So I try to go over it. How come this was the result? So what was the guidance that I have given? So I try to analyze it. So you know, but sometimes you can't help it. But nowadays you really have to, you know, step back and think about it or what happened. Yeah.
Alam mo, Doc, what I can say is, positive parenting is not all about positive emotions. There are
That's
negative
true.
emotions. Pwede tayong ng anger, fear, anxiety over our children's misbehavior. But what is not normal is if we allow these negative emotions to control us.
Our actions towards the displeasure.
That's our response. It's okay to feel that because that's a part of our emotional well-being. But to let these negative emotions control us to the extent of
Napapalo mo, nakukurot mo yung anak mo, nasisigawan
kasi
mo.
I've experienced that. I think all of us in a way are guilty naman, in one way or another sa ganito. So it's good to have this kind of, you know, awareness.
What about hetong tinatawag nating child abuse versus discipline? Kasi may mga magulang na naniniwala na unless you discipline your child, unless you spank or scold your child, hindi siya titino eh. So para bang, it's biblical naman eh, spare the rod and spoil the child. So anong dapat gawin natin dyan, Miss Jane, so that we can balance our love and our discipline?
You really have to learn to understand that you have limitations. Try to reflect on your practices, no, the way you discipline your children, and I think from there you will realize it's not my child really that is wrong. It's my way.
Tama yun.
And from them, you can also picture out yourself. The way my child behaves like that is because his mom is also behaving like that.
Sometimes we can see the picture,
Our picture. So nakikita natin parang mirror sila kung sino tayo.
Yes. For me, maybe you can spare the rod, but it should not remain unnoticed. You should call their attention, you know, and make a big, you know, you try to discuss or make a big deal out of it. You know, sometimes we have to communicate with them.
Setting of rules is very
Yes.
important.
Setting of rules.
Yeah. And sometimes they're not aware it's wrong. So you have to point it out to them that it's wrong. So I think it's more on constant reminder to them of what is right.
Yeah. Discipline is very broad. Discipline is very, I think it's, kasi pinag-uusapan na talaga natin yung discipline. Let's be direct and let's establish really what is the right definition of the word discipline. Kasi para sa akin, ganito yung definition ko, sa kanya ganito. Ang sa akin, definition ng discipline, pag nag-ano ka talaga, nagkamali ka, papaluin talaga kita. So, let's also, by sharing yung mga parenting styles natin, I think nagkakasundo tayo na pag sinabi natin discipline, mayroong love na factor.
Yeah.
No, hindi naman yung discipline. Pinalo kita, kaya kita pinalo kasi mahal kita. Hindi maintindihan yan ng bata, ha? Kaya sasabihin ng bata, wag mo na lang akong mahalin. Mahala na. Oo, di ba? Basta wag mo lang akong taluin. Yeah. So, nandun yung love pa rin, nandun pa rin. So, communication, setting of rules, consistency, all of this.
Now,
communication.
we've been talking about positive parenting to produce positive children also. What if yung isang parent, positive parenting na nga siya, and yet somewhere along the line, out of 5, may failure siya, may failed siya na isang anak. Ang definition muna natin ng failure ay ano ito? How would you define failure in your parenting style?
As a mother, I think it's a failure for me if I saw my child na nandun sa drug addiction, or talagang ayaw na niyang mag-aral, or talagang parang yung disappointment ay hindi mo na maalis sa kanya, no? Dinala na nung bata yun hanggang, I think for me it's a real failure for a parent.
And it will pain you so much,
Yes,
di ba? As a
yes,
parent.
yes.
O, parang iiyakan mo yun eh. Sa'yo naman, Miss Miles.
If they become not being motivated in life, because they might finish school, they might, but the motivation to live to its fullest is not there, then maybe that's where I will think that I became a failure. Because growing up, you try to provide them all the opportunities they could have, but of course, you don't stop at that and label it as a failure. It's continuous work that hopefully you'll still be able to guide them, that they could pick up and go on with life. So I think you really can't label it as a failure. At this point, it's failure.
What about you, Miss Ai?
Yeah, if I would evaluate failure in parenting, I think it's not, because we have the saying, success is not the end product of everything, but success is a journey. So to me, the failure of parenting is the follow-up factor or the monitoring side. It's not the end product. Kasi pagka nag-fail na siya,
tumigil ka na.
Ibig sabihin, nasan ka nung panahon? Kasi bago naman, halimbawa, bago naging delinquent yung anak, meron siyang mga activities na ginawa. Where am I? Saan ako noon, nung panahong yon? Maaaring wala ako doon. So merong gap. I think the failure comes in the journey of the child's life. Hindi na yun dun sa end product eh. Because that's already the result of
that journey.
The failing parenting.
Pero tayo as parents dapat din kasi alagaan natin ang mga sarili natin. So how should we take care of ourselves as parents now? Let's talk about, kasi syempre you have to love yourself first and foremost before you can become a positive parent. So how do you deal the stresses that you encounter as a parent, Miss Jane?
I get
Stressful,
to go with other mothers, just like a friend of mine. Miss I is a friend of mine. I get to talk with them, laugh with them. It's my way of relieving my stress. Going out with, or laughing at your mistakes as well is also a way of leaving the stresses of life. And also, I discuss with my husband. We have communication even early mornings, most of the time early mornings, and we discuss things which also helps us to release, unwind ourselves from those stressful moments that we have, and even with the work as well.
What about you, Miss Ai? How do you de-stress?
Maraming outlet, there are so many ways, for example, for me personally, to ventilate my ill feelings, ganon. So I think my hobby comes in. No, I read. I read. And but before coming to that hobby, meron din ako mga struggle before. Kasi talagang first reaction natin, talagang initial reaction natin, tayo. Although, hindi naman ako yung sumisigaw, ganon, but talagang namang problema ako within, So, hobbies and also friends, like that.
So that's how you distress yourself?
Of course, prayer.
What about you, Miss Miles? How do you?
I try to do things that I like to do. Like, because, I like being a parent. I like taking care of my family. But there are things that you would want to do for yourself.
Yes.
Like, I'm a financial planner, but at the same time, I want to do other businesses. So that's how I distress. I do the things that I'm passionate about. It doesn't really mean that I will stop, but I will try to do something that I like. Of course, spending time with other moms also distresses, because you could, exchange.
And going to the parlor. And
yes,
making yourself beautiful. My
retail
goodness.
therapy.
That's a therapy by itself. Having your nails clean.
Yes.
Diba? Ako, isa sa aking therapist is to go to the marketplace and just be there, talking to the vendors and everybody.
Yes.
I love interacting with this kind of people. So, I'd like to thank the three of you. Mabilis lang talaga, tapos na tayo. I hope that our viewers learned from us. I learned from the three of you also. Miss Jane, what is your message now to the mommies, to the daddies out there, to the parents?
Parenting is really a learning process. So as parents, you have to be teachable, open-minded, and remember you need help. We all need help.
Miss Ai?
To me, parenting is a blessing, and it's a privilege, because not all people have the privilege of having this experience. At I would like to encourage all our parents to continue being positive in every way possible. And syempre, may mga challenges, hindi po yun mawawala. But positive, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, positive parenting is not all about positive emotions, but taking the opportunity for that negative to be positive. So, God bless everyone.
What about Miss Ai?
Yes. As what I've mentioned a while ago, we capitalize more on time when we deal with our kids. It's spending, it might not be present, but you take time to be with them, to know them, to be intentional parents, and let them feel that they belong to this family, that they really belong, that they're part of the pack. So, because the kids, when they know that they're part of that pack, it's not easy for them to just hurt each member of that family. So, let's just be with them, have the time for them.
Alright. So, dear viewers, tandaan po natin, maganda po ang mga sinabi ng ating mga guests, Lahat po yan ay dapat matandaan natin. There is no single formula actually for successful parenting. And it is not something that can be done overnight, but it is a lifelong process. It's a commitment to love, to be dedicated, to discipline, and to balance everything with our children, because our children are the greatest treasures that we can ever have in this world. And even in the Bible, it says in Isaiah 54:13, all your sons will be taught by the Lord, and great will be your children's peace. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat.